Hi everyone, I'm Selma Blair, and welcome to my People cover shoot. Hi.
You know, you could be a model.
Really?
It's too bad you're not sexy.
I can be sexy.
Selma Blair landed her breakout role in the 1999 coming-of-age drama Cruel Intentions, which she followed up by co-starring in the 2001 classic Legally Blonde.
Oh, hi. Vivian Kensington. Do you know her?
She's,
I'm his fiance.
Nearly 20 years later, in 2018, Selma shared heartbreaking news, announcing on social media that she had been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And in 2021, she was the subject of the moving documentary Introducing Selma Blair, which gave audiences a raw, unfiltered look at what it's really like to live with MS, and included her radical and extremely debilitating 2019 stem cell transplant.
So a little pain. I don't know if you can really do anything about it.
Today, the 49-year-old actress is about to publish her first book, Mean Baby, a memoir of growing up, which will be released on May 17th.
I'd always wanted to write. I'd always, since I was little, and things stop that when you're young. But I became an actress, and I just wrote very quietly. And when I had stem cell transplant, when I did the HSCT to halt the progression of the MS, I really took stock, and I found incredible book agents, and we realized this is something that people could respond to, that there's something that could help people, not just with the MS, but maybe, thought patterns that I had that are so different now that I'm on the other side of a lot of awareness. And so knowing on Instagram, things like that, where people really responded and like, would you ever write a book? Oh, I'm so interested. And so I thought, yeah, I'm taking stock, and this is now. So it's for people, but for me to really meet things that might have been real obstacles in my life.
The title is inspired by the earliest story Selma ever heard about herself, that she had been a mean baby, described as a disagreeable child with a terrible disposition.
A lot of things that I put in the book, it was almost, a perspective almost. It's not written as an 8-year-old or anything, but a perspective of kind of a mean baby. And they were the stories that I had always been told. And they were the stories that really shaped me as a person more than I realized. A personality. I mean, I didn't really view it as a celebrity memoir, and I think part of that is that for so long I never viewed myself as a celebrity even. So I didn't, it was a book to me. It was raw, it could be raw and more honest, and finding myself in a literary way that had offered me comfort.
Beautiful and at times devastating, the memoir delves into Selma's nearly lifelong struggle with alcoholism.
I don't know if I would have survived childhood without alcoholism. That's why it's such a problem for a lot of people. It really is a huge comfort, a huge relief in the beginning, maybe even the first few years for me, because I did start really young with that as a kind of comfort, as my coping mechanism. And I could see, I was reading the Audible for the book, and I was like, I was sober then. Well, not really. I was sober, and it was going back and forth, and it was the one thing that I was kind of annoyed with myself. Like, it's like, right, I didn't have it under control, because I really did get sober for 4 months, a year, 4 years, 2 weeks. And then, it was always, because I was more of a binge drinker. I wasn't an everyday drinker because I didn't like to drink socially, because I knew it didn't always bring out the best, and I was a very functioning alcoholic, and if I drank in front of a bunch of people, I wouldn't be as functioning in their opinion, right? So to not have alcohol in my life, and life is much easier. Life is much easier without the constant managing of when I could try to drink, when I would want to drink. And something about, I'm very lucky, but something about maybe learning about the MS and really learning that I had had a bottom for me with drinking. It is like a miracle. It is not something, I never I never want alcohol in my life again, and I couldn't say that other times sober. It was always like, maybe I could go on vacation and drink. No, that worked out. Maybe we could do that, and I had great times drinking, when you're younger, and other people are having great times drinking.
In the book, Selma also bravely shares her traumatic experience as a survivor of sexual assault.
Some of the things in the book that might have felt a little more shocking, unexpected, darker, sadder, just maybe bigger. It was really meeting things, there are things I said out loud to Brittany, my agent. It's like, oh no, I won't put that in the book now. And when she said, why not? It's like, oh, details. It's like, no, maybe just think about it. And so then I did, and I realized, I think how much the shame of rape really was that secret, was probably holding me tighter in some type of fear or bracing or holding back. It felt good to say it and put it in the book and realize how much it was kind of a relief after a while. Not initially, but after a couple months of realizing that's out there. And it's like, I know there are people that have had huge trespasses, huge assaults, huge things happen to them. Even things they might have done. But this, meeting something and realizing how much a secret was really holding me back from just an awareness of myself. And I didn't realize how much I was hiding it. I just hadn't thought of it for so many years. And I don't need to continue thinking about it. I want it to be put out there and hope that people, if they go through a similar thing, maybe they will just then have a little bit of courage or an opening and not realize that they could talk about it with someone and maybe, unburden themselves. I hope it helps people. I really do. Because, that means the world to me if someone stops or writes or not even get back to me, just hoping that there is someone that some of their terror might be lessened in life. I was afraid. I was a very afraid person, and I didn't know always what was going on. And the book is light, too. A sense of humor is important to all of us in my family. And I so admired Carrie Fisher so much. And, yeah, there's a little of her energy, I think, in the way she would tell a story where there is something, Carrie used to say, it has to be funny or else it's all just true.
Selma lost her mother in May of 2020, and in Mean Baby, she writes about their complicated relationship, a relationship Selma sometimes sees echoed while parenting her own son, 10-year-old Arthur.
My mom, she died when I started writing the book, and she was a fierce person. I think she would be okay with it, even though I'm honest about some things where she was tough. She's a tough person, and while in so many ways I admired it, in so many ways I was hurt by it. And when I realized there's some patterns that you start to repeat even with your own son, and she was very critical. And that became kind of a love language of mine too, I think. And I viewed that as someone being honest and telling me and caring enough about me. And my son is like, you are very critical. And it gobsmacked me. I had no idea. It's like, wow, you really can be your mother. And she could be tough, but she was a magistrate in a time, a single mom, a magistrate. She went not even having graduated from Vassar. She had taken time off and went to U of D Law School, and she had done so many impressive, incredible things. And she is someone that was fiercely loyal. But it is strange that my mother died while I was writing it in COVID, and I'll actually go next month before the book comes out to bury her, finally. It's incredible right now having the book and my horses being riding, and I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. I'm in remission with the MS, and everything's looking really good. Everything's looking really good. Everything's great. I'm in a good place. I'm in a good place because I'm not as panicked when I'm unhappy. I look forward to great, career things that I never even considered before. I have wonderful people around me. It's so important. And I'm really grateful.